The visual pathway and its lesion. The visual pathway consists of number 1, the optic nerves, number 2, the optic chiasma, number 3, the optic tracts, number 4, the lateral geniculate bodies, number 5, the optic radiations, number 6, the occipital cortex. Number 1, the optic nerves. The fibers of the optic nerve originate in the retina. The retina is divided into temporal and nasal halves at the level of the fovea centralis. The optic nerves join the optic chiasma at the anterolateral angle. Optic chiasma. It is flat, band-like structure lying above the pituitary fossa. In the optic chiasma, there is semi-decussation of the nerve fibers. The nerve fibers from the nasal side of each retina cross over to the opposite side. The nerve fibers from the temporal side do not cross but pass into optic tracts of the same side. Number 3. The optic tract. The optic tract originates from the posterolateral angle of the optic chiasma. They are cylindrical bands running outwards and backwards to end in the lateral geniculate bodies. They consist of the temporal fibers of the same side and the nasal fibers of the opposite side. Number 4. The lateral geniculate bodies. These are oval structures situated at the posterior end of the optic tract. These fibers of the optic tracts end in the lateral geniculate bodies, and new fibers of the optic radiations originate from them. Number 5. The optic radiations. The nerve fibers proceed backwards and medially as the optic radiations to terminate in the visual centers situated in the occipital lobes. Number 6. The occipital cortex. It is situated above and below the calcarine fissure in the occipital lobes, extending up to the occipital pole. The visual nerve pathway can be divided into three parts. The neuron of the first order is the bipolar cell in the retina. The rods and cones are the sensory end organs. The neuron of the second order is the ganglion cell in the retina, the process of which pass along the optic nerve, optic chiasma and optic tract to the lateral geniculate body. The neuron of the third order takes up the impulses through the optic radiations to the occipital lobe, visual center. From cone to bipolar cell and ganglion cell forms the first order neuron. From there, the second order neuron of the optic nerve goes to optic chiasma and then lateral geniculate body, then start third order neuron, and terminate at the cerebral cortex. This is the visual nerve pathway.